So now we're given a different function, 2 minus e to the x, equivalent to 4x. And what we would like to do, we would like to show that there is a solution somewhere between the interval from 0 to 1. So if we want to rephrase this question, knowing that solutions are located where the y value is equivalent to 0, what we want to show is that the y value of y equals to 0, it's somewhere between the x values of x equals 0 and x equals 1. Well, the first thing that we want to do is, let's look at this function and let's set it equal to 0. Let's do that by subtracting 4x to both sides. And if we want to use the intermediate value theorem, first, we need to make sure that we are working with a continuous function. And we do. This is a polynomial, and polynomials do not have any holes or any gaps, so we are guaranteed to have a continuous function. So after verifying that we have a continuous function, now let's get this polynomial and let's evaluate it at the endpoints of this interval, at x equals 0 and at x equals 1. So let's start with x equals 0. Let's go to the polynomial, and every time we see a value of x, let's substitute it with 0. So let's bring down the 2. E to the 0 is equivalent to 1. And 4 times 0, that is just 0. So I'm not going to write that down. So at the end, we just obtained the value of 1. So let's make sense of the result. Here we are saying, within this function, when x is equivalent to 0, y is equivalent to 1. So the polynomial that we're working with will pass through this coordinate point. Let's show that in the graph on the right. Now let's evaluate the function at x equals 1. Let's go to the polynomial, and every time we see an x, let's plug in 1. So let's bring down the 2. And e to the first, that's approximately 2.71. And 4 times 1, so we're going to get negative 4. And when we combine these values, we're going to get negative 4.71. So let's make sense of this result. Here we are saying, when the x value is 1, the y value is negative 4.71. So the function that we are given is going to pass through this coordinate point. Let's place that in the graph on the right. So let me extend the y-axis so we can get more negative y values. Now let's place a coordinate point. And remember that we are working with a continuous function, we should be able to connect these two coordinate points without any holes and any gap. But notice that when we do that, we are guaranteed to pass through the y value of 0. And it is here where we're going to find our solution. So we have completed the objective. Now let's write down our conclusion. First, if we want to use the intermediate value theorem, we have to acknowledge that we have a continuous function. Then notice that there is a y value of 0 between the y values when we evaluate x equals 0 and x equals 1. Then by the intermediate value theorem, we are guaranteed to have a solution between the x values from 0 to 1. Hello. If you would like to continue learning about mathematics, you can check out the videos on the left.